What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Bridging the Geekdoms. I'm your host, Robert Slavinsky, and today I'm going to talk about episode 3 of Loki, my reaction, my review, all that jazz, and let's just get into it. So, episode 3 was definitely the weakest of the first 3 episodes of the season or of this show, but that's okay because, there was a lot of information we got in this episode. But first and foremost, let's just get this out of the way. Tom Hiddleston is he has to be just a pleasure to work with for every actor in the world, because it just seems like he has chemistry with almost every single person he's on screen with, and it just always ups the quality of the scene that he is in. And, as you go back and even watch him in the MCU, from Thor 1 to Avengers to Infinity War, and everything in between, he truly is, he's quite possibly the most interesting character to watch on screen, because he just brings everything up to 11. He really does. And it's just incredible. And when you think about it, giving him a show, which, originally my theory was that this was going to be his swan song, that this was going to be a one and done type of show. And after this, he would officially die, and they would bring in somebody to replace him, similar to how they're going about with, femaleizing almost everything in the MCU and replacing, people with females. I mean, it's just, honestly, it's not just Marvel, that's Hollywood right now. It's either, bringing in a woman to replace, a leading white man, or bringing in a person of color to replace somebody. And that's just what's going on in Hollywood right now. So in a way, I kind of felt that that's what they were going to be doing with Loki in some form or fashion. And by introducing Lady Loki, they would be bringing her into the mix to replace Loki. But, after seeing these first 3 episodes, and after seeing and realizing what Tom Hiddleston brings to the universe, and has brought to the universe since his very first time being on screen, it would be really dumb of Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios to just get rid of that. He just brings so much to the universe within acting chops, within every scene that he is in. So I'm hoping they don't go that route, but holy shit, episode 3, he was just phenomenal. His delivery, his, everything between him and Sylvia, I mean, is just fantastic. And I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on that down below. But this episode was, again, not the best, but it does kind of explain a little bit of who Sylvia is. It doesn't go too deep into her origin or too deep into why she's doing what she's doing, but you start to understand the similarities between her and, the original Loki, and what drives them. I was a little upset that there was there was more focus on Loki and him discovering who he is and who he was. We kind of already did that in episode 1, so I was a little upset that they kind of went that route here in episode 3. Not too much. I didn't delve into it too much, but it was still just there. You could tell that, okay, do we need more, focus on Loki and what makes him tick? We've had 10 years of that. We understand. But overall, I mean, it was a decent episode. The fact that they, went to this planet that was in the middle of being destroyed at any moment was very interesting. I really enjoyed that. It just added to the intensity and excitement and of the episode. Again, not action-packed. As I keep saying every time I talk to people about this show, you don't go into this show expecting to see action and big set pieces where there's explosions and everything, because that's not who Loki is. That's not what you're going to get with a show about Loki. It's going to be much more dialogue driven, and this episode was very, very dialogue driven. I'm going to be interested to see how everything pans out. I mean, we obviously know they are going to survive, the destruction here. My boy over at Spoiler Country, they do a review show of all the Marvels called Make Mine Marvel. And Kenrick over there, my boy Kenrick, was talking about how it seems like every single episode, especially with Loki, they have been ending on a cliffhanger. And he's like, we don't need that anymore. This was an episode I actually agree that they didn't have to leave on a cliffhanger. I think leaving this episode on a cliffhanger did nothing for wanting us to come back to the next episode. But he's trying to say every episode felt like that. Like, we don't need cliffhangers on every single episode. Unfortunately, that's how episodic TV is anymore. And cliffhangers are the way to go. They believe it's a way to draw people into the next episode, to making sure they come back next week. But he's not wrong in the fact that people aren't going to not tune into a Marvel show. Those who are watching the show are going to come back and watch it again and again. And those who aren't watching it week to week are waiting for it all to drop at one time so they can binge it all in one sitting. So I agree with Kenrick in a way that, no, you don't really have to do the whole, cliffhanger aspect of it, but, I'm a sucker for cliffhangers. I mean, I go back as one of my favorite cliffhangers, and it's one of those things that at the time, whenever I saw it, I didn't quite understand yet what a cliffhanger was. I was still pretty young in my film watching and just understanding how movies and TV were made. But my favorite one is the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie. People laugh at me when I tell them that. Now, obviously, a damn good cliffhanger is Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. And how that's a cliffhanger is very different, because they kind of leave you hanging with all these questions at the end of that movie, and you're sitting there like, is this all real? Is Vader really Luke's father? Is this or is that? And that's how that handles it. But, Pirates of the Caribbean got me because I was sitting in theater, I went and saw it with a couple of friends, and the moment you see Captain Barbossa walk down the steps, and like, what have you done with my ship? And then it ends, and I literally got out of my seat and was like, yes! I was just so excited, because it was one of those cliffhangers that you're sitting there like, holy crap, we knew we were getting another one, but Barbossa's back, we're getting more. How is he back? What are we doing? So to me, cliffhangers can work if done properly and used in the right setting, in the right way. Again, I'm a sucker for cliffhangers. I enjoy some of the cliffhangers that we've gotten with these Marvel shows, but Kenrick isn't wrong. And if he listens to this, if he sees this, he's gonna love it, because I said that. But no, he's definitely not wrong, because they don't need to do cliffhangers for these episodes. Not every single episode, at least. Maybe one here or there, but absolutely it is not necessary to do it every single episode. Now, Sylvia, she is intriguing to me. A lot of people were saying, oh, it's not Lady Loki, it's Enchantress, or it's Lady Loki and Enchantress put together, or blah, 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 blah. It's still a possibility. I don't think they're going to call her Enchantress. I don't think anything like that. She is a Loki. That's what she is, but she goes by Sylvia. She does that, I think, because the writers were like, let's make it simple so people don't confuse Loki and Lady Loki, blah, 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 blah. But it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out with her character. You can kind of see her getting into Loki's head a little bit and explaining what the TVA is and what it does. So how's it going to play out? What's going to happen? Are they going to defeat the TVA? I know that we've seen some images from the upcoming episode where she is in custody of the TVA. Is Loki going to break her out? Capturing her was supposed to end Loki's time helping the TVA. So what's going to happen there? Are they going to try and eliminate him or whatever it is they do? I don't know, guys. What did you think of this episode? I really enjoyed it. While I do think it was the weakest of these 3 episodes, there's a lot to discuss in regards to the character of Sylvia, who she is, and what her motives are. I'd like to find out what you think. I know a lot of people are freaking out because, you know, they canonize Loki being bisexual. Again, to me, there's no story element to that for him, so I think it's a non-talking point. And a lot of these websites that utilize, like, oh yeah, put up these things about it, are just looking for clicks because, you know, you watch the show, there was nothing. It was basically a passing comment. So I wanted to, you know, just like, really, like, why? What's the point of doing it if you're not going to make it a story point? But with that, you know, get mad at me if you want, whatever, I don't care. Whatever it is, let me know your thoughts down below on what you thought of episode 3 of Loki. And tell me your thoughts on what is going to happen next. I want to hear theories and ideas, and maybe you've heard some rumors. I love theorizing episodic television. I love it. It is one of my favorite things to do. Even movies. I love theorizing what's going to come in movies and what's going to come in episodes of TV or TV shows. So let me know below in the comments. With all that said, I'll talk to all of you later. What's going on, guys? Did you enjoy this video? If you did, make sure you smash that like button. And for more, hit subscribe with that little notification bell. That way, you'll be notified every time a new episode drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.